There's something that might be funny. I'm injured myself a few weeks back, maybe even a couple months ago. I can't remember the exact day, but I was doing sprints and kind of like my whole left hip flexor or something got pulled, and that was holding me back on a lot of things for a while, but I was doing so poorly anyway that it was just kind of unnoticeable. It's like everything was horrible. But now I'm doing a lot better, feeling good, and as I mentioned in yesterday's videos, I'm squatting and deadlifting over 400 again, so that makes me happy. It's nowhere close to peak level, but considering I'm 40 and that I had such a big crash, at least it's a good range again. At least I don't feel ridiculously embarrassed when I'm lifting weights like I was earlier. So pretty much the only thing I can't do now is sprint. I still haven't got healed up enough that I can go full blast like that and just launch myself across the field. But what's funny about that is here I am unable to sprint, and I felt that this was the day I want to do my video on the importance of sprinting, on how good sprinting is. I don't know how many of you out there ever did track or anything, but I've done a number of things. I was really hyperactive as a little kid, so that was kind of an issue for me. I was always getting in trouble in school and whatnot. And then in junior high, I kind of found sports as an outlet. And I know some people start things a lot earlier. It took me a while, but when I did, it was nice. And I did things like football and wrestling and track and basketball, and I liked track. I liked it a lot. And then in high school, you know, you had to start choosing stuff. I always would see my dad in the summers, and when I got back from the first summer visiting him, I went out to the football team, and they were out of equipment already, like uniforms, shoulder, I don't know what they were out of, but because of that I couldn't join, and it was irritating because I liked football. So I joined the cross country team to get in shape for basketball because I loved basketball, and it was fun. Like, you know, you can look at me, I'm not a lanky man with a slight build. I mean, you think of cross country people, most of them, they got good strides and small bodies, pretty much like big paddles in a small canoe. It's like an ideal body type for that sport because you have to go really far, and so when you're a big person, that's a lot of mass to move a long ways. So I wasn't really good at cross country. I was always in last place and whatnot, but it was fun. We had a lot of pretty girls on the team, and a lot of the guys were funny and fun to hang out with, and it got me in shape for basketball, and basketball is real fun. But track, because I did cross country, they always made me do the distance races, and I kept telling them I only do that to be in shape for basketball. I'm a sprinter and a jumper, and they would never believe me. And then my junior year, we had this meet where it didn't matter. It was like some kind of joke meet where I don't even know why they did it, but because of that, they were telling us we were free to try anything we wanted, to just explore, try things we liked. So I did the 100-meter dash and the long jump that day, and I think I got third place in the long jump, and I hadn't even been training it. You know, I've been a stupid distance runner. So that got their attention. They're like, oh, you are a jumper. And they started letting me train for that my last half of that year and all of my senior year. And then I got to do the sprints. And since I hadn't been training sprints, if you've ever been in a high school sport where people coach people, you know the difference between random raw talent versus trained talent. And I mean, we had a really fast kid that he was a point guard on our basketball team, and he would play baseball instead of doing track, and everybody knew he was fast. He was a great football player because of his speed. And once he challenged one of our sprinters to a race, and the sprinter had been coached and sprinting all season long, getting ready for all his races, whereas this guy he was going against had just been playing baseball, and he killed him. And that's the way it is. So because of that, I didn't do so good in that race, but that's okay, because later, my freshman year in college, I got to actually do the things I wanted, and I never was real fast, but I got fast enough that for me, I was happy. I ended up running the 100 meters in 11 seconds flat, which is decent. I know there's tons of people out there better than that, but it was cool for me because it was fun getting to get myself into that kind of shape and get myself that fast. And what I like about sprinting is that it makes you feel really explosive and strong and powerful. So like when you're strength training and like people want you to do like long distance running and stuff, sometimes it feels like it's sapping you of your strength and energy, and like it makes you weaker and tired and fatigued. But sprinting seems like it complements the strength training. Like you make yourself explosive and powerful, and that carries right into your strength training. I love the way it feels. I love the feeling of being strong and fast. So the whole point of this video is that I highly recommend sprints, even if I didn't do a very good job of sharing why. But I suggest if you're capable of training them, if you don't have any injuries or issues holding you back, I strongly suggest you try them out for a few months and just see how you feel and see if it carries over into your other stuff. I think for certain you'll at least feel better. So just give them a try.